Hey, how you doing? And welcome to another exciting episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm your host, Greg Russell, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe. Thank you for being here, sir.
All right, glad to be here, brother.
Yes, sir. So today we're going to talk about Facebook and some changes coming up that you as an entrepreneur need to know. We got a couple different segments of our show today that we're excited about. One of them is going to be our motivational minute. We got a section on the app of the week, which we're going to talk about Facebook, and also a laugh out loud minute. So we're going to dive in right now. Here we go. All right, we're back. Hey, man, I'm excited about this new segment. This
Yeah,
is
man,
called, yeah,
I am excited about it too. So, number one, Technology Tuesday. You know what the time it is. We're here every single week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. live, bringing you practical application, practical solutions, and that practical knowledge for your business. And this week, we wanted to start something new for our audience, because one of the things that Greg and I have been talking about behind the scenes is that we have a habit of taking wisdom for granted. Like,
that's
we've
right.
been in this game for a long time. And one of the things that we noticed coming out of Podfest is that there are things that we just assume that everybody knows. Because we know it, we assume that everybody knows it, but people are in different starting spots. Like, I'll be 47 this year, and I started this entrepreneurial journey when I was 21 years old. And I'm not going to tell you what year that was, but it wasn't in this century. And there's a lot of books, a lot of programs that we like. Things are streaming now. Like, we actually have
That's
physical
right.
tapes, audio tapes that we would listen to,
Yeah.
uh, that to get motivation. So we wanted to share some mindset stuff, because your mind is the best technology that you have. So we have this segment called the Motivational Minute. And motivation is a journey, but it only starts with just 1 minute. That's all it takes, is a minute. And what I wanted to share with you today is
Well,
something
before
that's been on
before
my
bef-
mind.
before we dive into it, man,
All right,
listen,
go ahead.
listen. This is something that you put together, and I'm extremely excited and proud of it. So I'm going to give it its just due. Ladies and gentlemen, the infamous Jerry Franklin Poe is about to delight your world with our new segment called Motivational Minute. Check this out. Here you go. Now you
All
can
right, so
do it.
we got some animation. See how our production quality is going up a couple of notches.
That's right.
Couple of notches. That's right. And that's a whole other thing in itself. I mean, we had, um, I think, was it Jason, or was it Justin or Jason? Justin, it was
Justin.
Justin, right?
Justin, yes.
Justin on a couple of weeks ago talking about how you can get your things up and running. And I did take advantage of that package to have the templates already created for. You can do it for Ecamm. You can do it for um,
OBS.
OBS or whatever.
Yep.
OBS. It's the open broadcast software. So, folks, what I want to just come for you and just share a couple things. Well, legacy is something I've been thinking about recently, because my daughters are getting older. One's about to go off to college. It's like, what is legacy? And a lot of times we think of legacy in terms of things that we accumulate. And I found this quote I thought was interesting. It says, "Your legacy is not what you leave behind, but the lives you touch and the hearts you inspire in the present moment. Live each day with purpose, passion, and intention." It reminded me of
Mm,
something I learned a long time ago from one of my mentors, and he would give us this analogy about the afterlife, in terms of where you ended up in heaven would be based off of what story you created, because you couldn't get into like the top rooms of heaven if you didn't really have a good story. You didn't have a good conversation. Like, how you gonna be hanging
right.
out with like characters like Moses and David if you was like, yeah, all I did was, I went to work and I drove a car and I did a vacation every once in a while. Like, what type of story? They're gonna be like, nah, you don't belong in this room. You don't belong in the MVP room, right? So how do
Right.
you get into that room? And the way you would keep said the way you get into those rooms, and again, this is all imaginary. I'm not really talking about spirituality, anything like that. He was just giving us an analogy about how to think about life in terms of what you're creating. And he was like, the way you get into those rooms is by living your life to create the best story possible for your life, that you want to be able to have something to share with people. And he said each one of us was born with a contract. And it's our purpose on this planet to fulfill that contract. There was some reason that you were born, that you were brought into this planet. There was something that you were designed especially to do, a problem that you were designed especially to solve. And it's your responsibility to fulfill that contract. But what happens for so many of us, so many people do not, they don't fill out their assignment, they don't fill their contract. I believe it was Les Brown that said the graveyard is the wealthiest place on the planet because people go to their grave with their dreams, with their
Wow.
hopes, with their desires already.
Wow.
They don't do anything with it. So I just want to encourage you each and every day to think about how many lives are you impacting and how are you impacting those lives? Because part of what Technology Tuesday is about is not just having the tech, but how do we use the tech to fulfill our purpose? How do we use the tech to fulfill our passion? How do we use the tech intentionally to fulfill that contract that you were put on this planet to solve? So that's what I wanted to share with you. And hopefully you are motivated by this. Motivation is not something you do once, it's something you do every day, just like brushing your teeth.
Wow. Wow. Listen, man, yeah, that's a simple word, but it's deep, man, because and for me, I learned and realized what I wanted to do a long time ago. And I knew that I wanted to help people in business, and I had a gift for helping people with the tech, right? And so I realized I want to help people succeed, and my gift is being able to break down complicated tech and give it to people so they can use it. I realized my gift was being able to set up automation so that people can have things running in the background at a level that the most average person wouldn't be able to do. But you are right. So many people do not realize that thing that they were put on this world to do, right? And so you need to ask yourself, if you haven't already, what is it I'm supposed to do? What is the thing that I'm supposed to do? And a lot of times, if you ask honestly yourself, you will know. And then you have to ask yourself, are you following that? Are you pursuing that? Are you trying that? And I recently watched, I don't remember, it was some show on Netflix, and it got to this point in the movie where it was a story about a guy and a girl, and in the middle of the series, the guy was like, look, you're not doing what you want to be doing. You talked about being a writer, right? But you haven't really pursued it. And it was like an intense moment. It was an argument, but he would, he hit on that exact thing. You know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're messing around with the things around the thing you're doing, but you're not doing the writing, right? You're not writing the play or writing the book or whatever it is she was supposed to write. Um, and it took her a little bit longer to figure out, you know, to figure out some things to make her start writing, and she started finally writing. I think that's a great thing, and I love how you phrase it, where Technology Tuesday is about helping you use the tech so you can find your purpose. And uh, great man, I love it. I love that motivational minute. I'm telling you now, I'm going to put more of these motivational minutes in the schedule. So get ready to write some more.
Yeah, I mean the key is that you want to live each day with purpose and intention. And when it comes to leaving legacy, leave a legacy of love, inspiration, and empowerment. So every day that I wake up, my goal is to aim to add value, inspire change, and to make a difference. So the question you got to ask yourself is, what are you doing every single day to keep yourself engaged so you can engage other people in their lives? If we don't feel good about what's going on with ourselves, if we don't feel good about what's going on in our life, then you're going to have difficulty actually fulfilling your purpose, fulfilling your passion, fulfilling your contract. So that's why it starts with you getting motivated. And I believe, as Jim Rohn has said, motivation is something you have to do every single day, just like brushing your teeth. Like, people think it just happens one time. But no, it wears off. Like, you can be motivated, and as you start to get into this journey, entrepreneurship, you can get worn down. Like a lot of people, remember this, we were in Podfest, and one of the things that they said is most people never make it past their sixth episode.
Yep.
So think about
Yep.
that, folks. Those who are listening, just think about that. Most podcasts never make it past six episodes. So that's 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, right? 6 weeks. People quit. Like, that's like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Boom, I'm done. Because they didn't realize how challenging it would be. They thought it was going to be easy. And when it wasn't easy, they tapped out. Just like a MMA fight. They're like, I tapped out. can't take it. So
Yeah.
that's why Jim Rohn said motivation is something you have to do every single day, because you get into these battles. When I mean by battle, I mean the journey. It's not like an actual war we're in here, but you're battling your fears. You're battling the people who doubt you. You're battling all the obstacles. And one of the things we're going to be talking about later in the segment with the app is that there are challenges that are unexpected. And how do you adjust?
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, man, I think that you hit it right on the head, and I think you know, even with our show, I can honestly say there have been times and weeks where it's like, oh, I don't have a thing to talk about. There's nothing really happening in the industry. I haven't found any new apps, right? So what do? I still got to put on still got to do the show. So you figure it out, and so we hope to motivate you to figure it out when things get hard. And with that, we're going to head into our next segment. Listen, I'm excited about this next segment because life is challenging and sometimes we need to sit back and laugh at ourselves. So we came up with this really short segment that I know you're going to love. It's called LOL Moments, and we will share it with you right after this message. Hey, are you feeling overwhelmed, drowning in your to-do list? Say no more. With the all-new Let's Go app, it's your morning routine miracle worker, turning entrepreneurs into productivity superheroes. With this morning routine app, you'll have everything you need to start your day and make the most of your mornings. This app provides a step-by-step guide to creating a morning routine that will help you be more productive, focused, and motivated. Sketch out your day, cherry pick your priorities, and baby step your way to big wins. Keep chaos at bay and corral all your tasks, notes, and inspirational quotes all in one place. Head over to getletsgo.com, where your short-term hustle meets long-term triumph. Hit download and leap towards your dreams at getletsgo.com. All right, one of the things that I really enjoy during the Super Bowl is the commercials. And I hope you enjoy the commercials too. But I want to share with you guys one of my favorite commercials. It was from years ago, and it was about an office linebacker. Do you remember this one, Jerry?
Yep, I do. I remember that very well. It's
Yeah. So
coaching in the office, right?
yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. I'm going to play. We're going to take a minute, and we're going to take 1 minute and watch this funny video from Terry Tate called Office Linebacker. Right, here we go.
When we asked Reebok to send us Terry Tate, some people thought we were crazy. But I'm a firm believer in paradigm breaking, outside the box thinking.
Hey, buddy.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, Mitch!
And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%. We're getting more from our employees than ever before.
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard! That ain't new, baby!
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice!
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family.
Get high, baby!
He fits right in here.
That's a long distance call, Doug!
To be honest, I wish Reebok sent us 10 Terry Tates.
You wanna play games, Gene? Well, when it's game time, it's pain time, baby! Woo!
Oh man, that is just my absolute favorite of all time Super Bowl commercials. Office linebacker Terry Tate, blast from the past. If you've never seen it, then I hope you enjoyed that. That one was hilarious, man. That was one of my most favorite ones. What about you, Jerry? What's your favorite one?
Game time is pain time. Game time is pain time.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I love it when he hits the dude and then he's like, "Hi, Janice." like
Yeah, man.
He didn't
You gotta
even
make sure
have
you
no.
put them cover sheets. You gotta make sure
yeah.
you put the cover sheets on your TPS reports.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a flashback to Office Space. For those that didn't see that movie, Office Space, make sure you check out that memo and get your stapler and your TPS reports.
Yes. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed that quick laugh out loud moment with us. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into our main point of the segment. We got our app of the week, and we'll share with you that app right after this message. Hey, are you feeling overwhelmed, drowning in your to-do list? Say no more. With the all-new Let's Go app, it's your morning routine miracle worker, turning entrepreneurs into productivity superheroes. With this morning routine app, you'll have everything you need to start your day and make the most of your mornings. This app provides a step-by-step guide to creating a morning routine that will help you be more productive, focused, and motivated. Sketch out your day, cherry pick your priorities, and baby step your way to big wins. Keep chaos at bay and corral all your tasks, notes, and inspirational quotes all in one place. Head over to getletsgo.com, where your short-term hustle meets long-term triumph. Hit download and leap towards your dreams at getletsgo.com.
Greg, I saw this video and you sent it to me early this week about some changes that I don't think either one of us anticipated. And it has to do with Facebook, and it applies specifically to us because we have a Facebook group, and there were changes that are going to impact or alter the way anyone who's using Facebook, and specifically Facebook groups, run their either groups for hobby that they might have or group they might have for their business. But it's going to really change the landscape moving forward, and it's coming soon.
That's right. So this is like a industry update that's really important that you need to know about. The date that it takes effect is April 22nd, 4/22/24, right? So April 22nd, the Facebook is going to deactivate or turn off their Facebook group API, right? And so this will affect anybody who is using apps to pre-schedule things for Facebook groups or apps that stream into Facebook groups. And so what happened was there's a lot of speculations on why. And a lot of people are upset, including myself, because we stream into multiple Facebook groups. And if you're watching this from one of the groups, hey, how you doing? Thanks for checking out our show. But after April 22nd, we are going to have to shift because we can no longer stream into multiple groups at one time. And there's could be a challenge if we could stream into our own group with the production software we're using. So we're following this trend very closely to see what's going to happen. So one of the things I found, Jerry, and I'll share with everyone, was not an article, but a post by Mari Smith. Now, Mari Smith is someone who's been on top of Facebook trends for years. And she's someone who shared this post, and it says, do you use any third-party apps or Facebook groups? And she kind of was revealing this news on her post, and she had a in-depth post about it on her site. That's Mari Smith if you want to go check it out. And the post is titled, do you use any third-party apps in your Facebook group? So I checked this out and I started talking to people, and then I also found a post on TechCrunch that's talking about Meta's cut off its third-party access to Facebook groups, leaving developers and customers in disarray. So this is a big deal because, we stream into Facebook groups. I know a lot of people who stream into Facebook groups. This will affect software like Ecamm, the platform we use, StreamYard, which is another popular one, and any streaming app that streams into these groups. And I'm also wondering how it's going to affect certain services that will allow you to stream into multiple places like Restream. So Jerry, in a nutshell, this is a big pain in the butt, and this is one of those things where Facebook is doing things that Facebook does by changing things and making it difficult for those who use the platform for business to have the advantages they used to have. And a lot of times, Google and Facebook and other major platforms do this from time to time. We get comfortable using a platform or using a service, and then after time it changes and you have to roll with the punches. I know back in the days, they used to call it the Google slap, when Google would change its algorithm, and then those who were relying on AdSense and they're being ranked real high, all of a sudden they weren't ranked anywhere, and their income would shift dramatically overnight. And this is just something we've seen over time when it comes to these platforms changing things. And so this one is coming, and you guys need to be aware. You need to be making plans and changes for how this will affect your business if you are using third-party apps inside of Facebook groups. And so that's the insight of what's coming. Your thoughts, if any, sir?
So one, for those who heard all of that and are wondering what was Greg talking about, let me help you and say it a different way. So if you can still live stream into Facebook groups, but you can only do it from Facebook. So in your Facebook, where you're in your group, you can still hit the button and go live. The API is like it's like a URL or a code that you would get and you'd put into your software like OneStream, Restream, Ecamm, OBS, all these other platforms that people use to create production value, like the things people are using to make their show more high end. We're having like animations and slides and transitions, all these things that we thought were so cool. It's like, oh, it looks like a real official show. It looks like you're doing something on TV. So those platforms that you just like you just saw Greg
Like
just do,
that. Yeah. Just
right? Those platforms had to communicate to Facebook. Now you're still going to be able to stream to your page, to your feed, but in the groups, the private groups, they're blocking you from being able to stream, to live stream. So I hope that you will follow us as you normally do, right, for our faithful few, and listen to the strategies we're going to become, because we're going to get into the lab. We're going to try to figure something out, and what we're going to share what we figure out so it can be helpful for others, because this is something that a lot of people are freaking out. Like when Greg shared it with me, um, I saw on the internet and a lot of videos on YouTube, people were like, "Oh my god!" Like it was like the sky's falling. Little chick was chicken little. The sky's falling, man. The sky's falling. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like, because for some folks, this was an essential part of how they were running things. It was an essential part of their strategy for what they were doing, was this one particular thing. So I would say lesson number one for those who are taking notes is make sure that you always have a plan B. And number two, make sure that you always figure out a way to remove your dependency on these major platforms, because you don't have control. We don't have Mark Zuckerberg on speed dial. We're not in the board meetings of Facebook. We're not up at Meta. It's like we have no say. Like we can't call. Even the government has no say. Like they call Mark Zuckerberg to Congress and he'll sit there and he'll talk. But like, let's be real. I don't think he's doing that much changing just because he got called in front of Congress for something. He's still gonna get back on his private plane and put on his gray sweatshirt, his gray sweater, and blue jeans and still do things. So we don't have those control, but you have control over your business if you remove the dependency upon these platforms. Because sometimes people say, well, I got this many folks on my Facebook list or my LinkedIn list or whatever, but you don't really own that data. That data still belongs to those platforms. So at some point, you want to be wise and figure out a way to extract the data so you own the information and you can reach out to folks in case one of those platforms shut down. So right now what's happening is Facebook is saying they're shutting down something that people have been doing. And it's like, oh, what do we do now? Like that's basically everybody's scrambling, trying to figure it out. So it is a conundrum, right? But like some of these things are predictable. Like we can see this has happened before. There have been platforms that appeared and disappeared. There used to be a platform called MySpace, right? Before MySpace, there was something called Net Noir and Black Planet, and all these different things that people were on and had contacts and built up. Yahoo used to be the hottest thing on the planet, right? Everybody's like Yahoo. That speaking of Super Bowl commercials, was like Yahoo, right? They used to have all the Super Bowl commercials, and now no one's like Yahooing anything, right? So yeah, like Greg said, these changes are going to be coming this year in April. You're getting a heads up now because it's February, and you have a couple months to get with it. But I'm shocked, but I'm also still like, yeah, this is what people do. Like
Yep.
they don't always. I've lived long enough to know that companies don't always take the user in mind when they make decisions. You'll have a service and they'll do something. You're like, why would you do that? Like, just it hurts everybody. Like, I really love this product, and you just messed it up. Like, you messed it up for everybody.
Yep. Yep. It's happened, like you said, it's happened before. And it's funny because I remember the first time Facebook had a major change to its UI, and everybody started posting, change it back. And people believed that if enough people posted, please change Facebook back, that they would do it. But never happened. with that said, I want to share with you how one of the things Jerry said was really, really important is how to build your own list and so that you're not dependent on those platforms. So with no shame, we're going to offer you an opportunity to get a list of our tech tools. So check this out. This is one of our ways of getting our followers data, and just by putting it straight out there. Listen, we always do most of the times. Okay, most of the shows we have tech tools. This one we had an update, so there was no tool to review. However, if you're just joining us and you want a list, or you've missed several episodes, because we have been streaming for 4 years now, but we have a list of over 30 tools that we'd love to share with you, right? So if you go to gettechTools.com, it's 3 words, gettechTools.com, you can jump on our list and we will give you a PDF of 30 of our most popular tools that we've shared over the last few seasons. So if you would like a quick resource that can really help boost your business, head over to gettechTools.com and opt in for this free tool list from our show that we've been sharing these tech tools over the last few seasons. And so with that, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we're excited for next week. We'll be having a next one. Jerry, your final thoughts before we wrap it up.
I would encourage people, just to add on to what you said, to get that list. One of the things that we're on the show, and then sometimes we'll forget what we talked about a year ago. Like, oh yeah, remember we did like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that app, because there's so many things that happen in life. So if you have a list, having a resource, it's really good for your memory in case you forget, because there's some things that will say that you may not need right now, but you may need in the future, and that you circle back to it. So I think that's really important to have that as your fingertips. So definitely go check that out and take advantage of it. So yeah, man, I look forward to next week. We'll be here live again. For those who are watching, like, share, comment. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on these changes with Facebook, and how are they going to alter what you're doing? Are they going to alter what you're doing, or will you be affected? Let us know. Let us know in the group, technologytuesday.com.
All right. With that, see you next week, guys. Take care.